Hey guys, it's Ribs here, coming at you with another Spireside chat. Today I wanted to talk about Ball Lightning for Defect. Now these talks are based on Ascension 15 play. I'm trying to win with the highest win rate possible. I want to give myself the best chance possible of winning every single run. So that's the context in which I'm making these analyses. Some of this stuff may not be true at non-Ascension, but hopefully, even if you're not at Ascension 15 yet, a lot of the things I'll be saying will be sort of instructive, and you can start to see how I'm thinking about cards and try out analyzing cards that sort of way yourself. Hopefully, my brain processes will be useful for you, and hopefully this is an enjoyable chat. So, Ball Lightning. I have all these cards which are so interesting in Defect that I'm so interested in talking about, and I realized that I don't feel like I can even start to talk about anything that I do with Defect without talking about Ball Lightning first. And I don't have anything that interesting rather, to say about this card, to be honest. Other than, who printed this? How is this possibly an okay card to print? What? So, if you look at Ironclad, and we look at Ironclad's best one-cost attack, because Ironclad's a sweet attack-based class or whatever, Wild Strike maybe at common. We're looking at commons. Deal 12 damage, shuffle a wound into your draw pile. So it's 12 damage for 1 energy, but it has a downside. Alright, upgrades to 17. That's a lot of damage. A little bit of a downside, shuffle a wound into your draw pile. That doesn't kill the card at all. It's good damage, but yeah, 12 damage for 1 energy for Ironclad, that class that's all about attacking. Go look at Silent, Dagger Spray, 808. Well, Dagger Spray is a really good card. 8 AoE damage, procs on hit effects twice, scales with strength twice. That's cool. Dagger Throw, 9 damage with some extra. Poison Stab. Poison Stab recently got buffed a little bit. It's up to 6 damage now. It applies 3 poison, which means that even without other poison, it's dealing 12 damage for 1 energy. Pretty good number, you might think. What the what is this? So, this card, I imagine, seems okay if you don't know what lightning orbs do. But what lightning orbs do is that every turn they deal 3 damage to a random target, and then when they evoke, they deal another 8 to a random target. So if you evoked the lightning orb straight away, this card would only deal 15 damage for 1. 15 damage for 1 energy. What? What? Now it's a bit of a drawback that 8 of the damage is going on a random target, sure. And there can be situations where it's awkward, right? That you don't evoke the lightning orb straight away. You may not evoke it for 3 turns, in which case you've only dealt 10 damage on the first turn that you play this card. But then on turn 2, it deals another 3. And then on the 3rd turn, it deals another 3. And then on the 4th turn, you evoke it for 8 more damage! It's dealt 24 damage for 1 energy! I don't understand this card. I don't know. I'm sure that most people think Ball Lightning, yeah, that's a pretty good attack, but this card is... I'm hesitant to go this far because I haven't looked, but I suspect that this card is the best 1 energy attack in the entire game on any class, common, uncommon, or rare. I'm hesitant to make that claim because maybe I'm missing something, but this card is stupid. It deals so much damage. If you're against Gremlin Knob or Lagavulin in Act 1, this card just absolutely tears them apart. If you're against Slime Boss for Defect, Slime Boss is just not a difficult battle for Defect because your orbs are great in general, but also you just have this 1 common attack that deals realistically, maybe 2 times as much damage as it should deal. Realistically. Yeah, this card's absolutely bonkers. I'm very happy whenever I start a Defect run with 1 or 2 Ball Lightnings. Now, Defect is a class that scales a lot as the game goes on. You get your orbs up, you might have Frost Orbs, that's typically what I'm up to. And the effect of Ball Lightning starts to be a little bit less relevant as you're doing things which are even more ridiculous, like scaling up in focus and making 80 block for free a turn and things, and maybe Ball Lightning gets lost in there. And indeed, like, in the life cycle of a Defect run, by the time I'm halfway through Act 2, often Ball Lightning is not actually among the strongest cards in my deck anymore, which is so disgusting. Because I don't think I have to reiterate what it does, but I mean, there are Defect cards which are frankly even better. There's stuff like Electrodynamics, which makes your lightning AoE and just deals so much damage in so many of the difficult fights in the game. Stuff like Gremlin Leader or Collector, or like any of the AoE hallway fights in Act 2, really. Electrodynamics is very good. Defragment, which is like Inflame or Footwork, except that it gives you more damage and more defense for some reason. And if anything, the orbs proc more often than you're blocking or attacking, because you have like 3 of them passively, and then you're playing cards which make them happen on your turn as well. So you're getting like 6 orbs a turn maybe, whereas Silent and Ironclad are only getting like 3 attacks or 3 or 4 blocks to take advantage of their strength and dex. So yeah, Defragment's incredible, Glacier is incredible. A lot of these cards, all for one, Echo Form. A lot of these cards are very strong. And when Defect wins runs, often you like really blow out the final boss. Defect doesn't have too much trouble making a deck that can win boss fights. Defect can struggle like early with some fights, and particularly in Act 2. Is where a lot of my Defect runs, which are losses, have ended. Although I'm on a 15-0 streak with Defect right now, so it's been a while. But against like Gremlin Leader, even like just the triple birds fight can be very difficult for Defect, because Defect has trouble playing 3 attacks to knock the birds down. Against these fights in the beginning of Act 2, just having a deck which makes immense front-loaded numbers is incredible, and it's all about the Ball Lightning for that. Cold Snap's very good at it too. I'm not going to yell as much about Cold Snap as I did about Ball Lightning, but I just want to say that this card's really good as well. You can like compare it to Iron Wave, except it's a lot better than Iron Wave. It attacks for more and blocks for more, so you know, that probably makes it better. Defect has some very strong cards to get through Act 1. And a lot of what I have to say about Defect, and maybe I should have even talked about Ball Lightning before I made a video about self-repair, but a lot of what I have to say about Defect is based on this core that revolves around Ball Lightning and Cold Snap and like Go for the Eyes, and then good high-quality block cards like Leap, Charge Battery. The Dream is Glacier, but like even Genetic Algorithm's good. FTL is a great uncommon. This core deck, before I start trying to put all of the scaling pieces together, while I'm still like, you know, to scale with Defect, you got to be juggling your Defragment plus your Capacitor plus your Glacier or something like that. You got to have all the things in motion at once. Maybe I'm at a point where like I picked up a Defragment in floor 1, but I don't really have that much to go with it yet. Maybe I have like the 1 Capacitor and it's actually bad in the deck because I don't have any orbs. You don't have to take Capacitor if it's not good in your deck yet, by the way. You don't really need a Capacitor to win any run. Maybe my deck has like an Echo Form just sitting around in it, and it's like, yeah, this Echo Form is gonna be great against the champ. who is in 12 floors from now, and it's going to be terrible until we get there. Whoops. The reason that I'm able to fit all of these cards into my deck and pack that stuff together is that these commons are just so incredible. Ball Lightning, Cold Snap, get the Zap upgrade for very good damage there. Leap is excellent block. Go for the Eyes is very good mitigation, well worth an upgrade. A lot of the Defect commons that I'm talking about also don't require upgrades at all. Ball Lightning for an attack which, like, realistically is usually dealing at least 15 damage. The upgrade's 4 damage, which is good. And I often upgrade Ball Lightning. And by the way, okay, just a second. Like every other attack upgrades for 3 damage, why does this upgrade for 4 damage? What? Why would... It's a common attack that costs 1 energy. Why is... It has no downside. Why is it upgrading for... Anyway, yeah, like sometimes I'll upgrade that, but it definitely doesn't have to ever get upgraded. Cold Snap is only a 3 damage upgrade. Don't have to worry about upgrading that. And so while I'm doing this, my deck has so much power in it right now because these attacks are so strong. And it's going to have so much power later because, you know, I've got the Capacitor, the Defragment, the Glacier. This stuff is coming in. Typically speaking, the first source of focus that I see in a run, whether it's Consume or Defragment, are those the only ones? They are, aren't they? Man, getting a lot of card reward options is great as Defects, so you can see those often. Yeah, like I'm getting that stuff ready to go and whatever. But, you know, like 1 or 2 of those scaling cards probably needs an upgrade. Your core commons really don't need upgrades. You can just like take a lot of fights to see a lot of cards. You can rest pretty luxuriously at campfires a lot of the time. You don't have to worry that much about your deck not being good enough unless you get upgrades in. If you let these ridiculous commons just like carry your Defect experience for like the knifey blocky part of the game, the first act or so, it can lead to some very relaxed and very successful runs. And yeah, I just felt like I had to lay that groundwork before I talked about other Defect cards. Because, like, if people are sitting down with Defect and they're, like, going straight for the Defragment and they're taking, you know, Darkness straight away to get the Dark Orb going or whatever, you can definitely be successful with that, but your deck is going to be nowhere near as strong at the Act 1 and Act 2, like, hallway fights. And that's going to really influence what risks you can get away with in terms of 1, pathing, and 2, taking on dead cards, like something like Genetic Algorithm. For example, this can be a pretty bad card the first few times you play it, and if your deck is struggling a little bit in fights, that's bad. But if your deck has 2 Ball Lightnings in it, I think you actually kill the next hallway fight just with the splash damage from your Lightning Orbs in this one. So probably Genetic Algorithm is gonna, you know, it's gonna be okay in that deck. Reiterate that you do definitely want to get some block in, Charge Battery, Leap, Steam Barriers, fine. Defect has some very, very, very nice commons, and yeah, getting to know the commons and seeing how strong some of them are in particular seems like the first step to understanding what's going on there. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed my antics today. I love making these videos. They're just for chatting about cards that I have a lot to say about and want to talk about for more time than I have on Twitch. If you have any feedback about the videos, feel free to let me know. I have links to like my Twitch channel, my Discord, and my, well, you're on my YouTube, my Patreon, which is where you can support YouTube specific content, or just come like sub on Twitch if that's easy for you. That's all down below the video. I would love to hear if you guys are particularly interested in any card. Although I definitely have good ideas of what I want to talk about for a little while still. And I hope to see you tomorrow for another Spireside chat. Bye-bye.